Hi everyone, welcome back to If I Hire Wings, episode 31, where we got to see a lot about Ageha in the last episode. So in short, Ageha will not quit the Soaring Club and instead will quit the Robotics Club after the competition. And I'm sure that's not what Tobioka Sensei wants, because he feels that there is a future for his Robotics Club as opposed to this club. Well, it's because the Robotics Club, they enter competitions and they make headlines. And I have a feeling that he needs to understand that clubs are supposed to be fun and not businesslike. And I don't even want to imagine what's like when he tries to run the club, yelling at everyone, forcing them to make something incredible happen. And I feel that he's drilling Ageha like he did to Amane in the past. And Ageha quitting the Robotics Club is kind of like why Amane quit the Robotics Club many years ago. And also we see that Ageha's kind of upset that I was putting more attention onto Kotori than her, despite being child friends. So hopefully that relationship doesn't get severed much further. So anyways, Ageha's back in the garage of the Soaring Club after being absent for many days. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so Kotori's here. It's like, hello. So the second grade girls come bursting in. Oh, hi there.
Oh, Aibo.
Hello, Aibo. So Ageha grins as she looks at me.
どうしたんだ、アゲハ。ロボット部に行かなくていいのか？その前にちょっとお話ししたいことがあって。
So Kotori, did something happen?
さあ、提案がどうたらって。
Okay, it's like, well, I still want to stay in touch with the Soaring Club, so I just want to give something before I go back there. So Ageha clears her throat while glaring at Kotori and me whispering to each other.
天音先輩、引退の話聞きました。時間がもうないんですよね。
Okay, so I did hear from Kotori and Aoi that Amane is going to graduate.
うん。けど、私は先日お話しした通り、しばらくロボット部に専念しなくちゃいけません。今日から大会出場に向けて最後の仕上げにかかるので、部活延長届で作業できる20時ギリギリまで多分毎日残らなきゃいけないと思います。
Okay, it's like, well, it looks like the Robotics Club is getting busier than ever, and we're gonna have to go overtime to get this robot ready for the competition.
それじゃロボット部が終わった後にこっちに顔出すこともできないじゃない。
Well, I don't think that was what Ageha wanted originally. Well, I guess this really is a hopeless situation for us.
そこで提案があります。
But I won't leave without giving this advice.
合宿をしましょう。
How about a camp?
合宿？そうです、合宿。
So we all fail to see the point and slump in disappointment. So how's that gonna help us? So where are we going to do this?
ここでよ、決まってるじゃない。
Over there?
ここに泊まり込んで作業するの？
Well, I'm not sure if that's gonna be okay, because we do know that the Soaring Club has no permission to have activities after the standard time. So even though we live within walking distance,
実際にここで寝泊まりする必要はないわ。生徒会に届け出をするだけでいい。
okay, so we can get permission. So then, what are we going to do? Ageha grins while snickering.
学校に残り放題。
Well, I'm sure we understand what Ageha is thinking about. So at that, it was like the light bulbs above our heads have finally lit up. So it looks like Ageha was able to think of some workaround to allow them to, or allow her to do work here while being able to fulfill her duties at the Robotics Club with last minute rush.
私が来られるのは20時以降になるけど、十分よ。
Well, as long as you're here, that's enough for us. Well, yeah, we'll be able to work longer too, so the schedule will be much shorter.
あんたらほんと好きだね。普通夏休みが潰れるって文句言うところよ。
So I pretty much had to use up all the free time for my summer holidays.
夏休みなんて宿題くらいしかやることないもん。
Well, all we have is homework, homework, homework. Well, why would we complain when we can do what we want every day? So I wonder if they have other things that they were hoping to do. Maybe go on vacation and stuff.
ですって。先輩、どうですか？ああ、いいと思う。でも、君はそれでいいのか？
Well, don't overwork yourself.
だって掛け持ちする君の負担が一番大きくなる。
But we do know that Ageha has a end date for the Robotics Club.
それなら私も葵の考えに1票かな。好きなこといっぺんにできるんですもん。ちょっとくらいしんどくたってへっちゃらです。じゃあ決まりね。早速生徒会に合宿の届けを出しに行きましょう。
I'm not sure if the student council will approve it. And I'm pretty sure even if it does get approved, Tobioka Sensei can sense something else going on. And I'm pretty sure he will push to have this request rejected. It's like, well, I see zero reasons why the Soaring Club needs to be running after hours. And plus, it's already on its deathbed.
ああ、そうだな。ついでに副部長の届けも出すか。
So everyone looks like, oh yeah, there was that too.
そんなの葵くんで。私は幅根さんがいいと思うな。
So maybe we should have Kotori be the second in charge, because you are as devoted, or like you're really devoted to this project, and you really want this to be done sooner than ever. Well, that's what I thought as well. So even Aoi supports Ageha's thought that Kotori should be second in command.
ちょっとなんでそうなるのよ。ほら、私は所詮掛け持ちのみだし。
Well, we do know that there's no way Ageha can be second in command because he's too busy. And it looks like Ayo has work to do as well. It's like, well, I got my dorm mother duties.
はい、多数決取ります。幅根さんがいいと思う人。
And that leaves Kotori the only person left. So everyone except Kotori quickly raised their hands. So it looks like Amane's like, well, I think Kotori would be the best choice because out of all of us, so between Ageha, Aoi, and Kotori, Kotori has the most free time on her hands.
やだ、ダメだって。
But I'm pretty sure it's more like Kotori is kind of nervous and is kind of afraid that she's getting a pretty big role for this club.
私なんか一番役に立ってないし、一人じゃ何もできないし。
It's like, well, I always need your help. Even when doing something simple like putting the wings together. And plus, I can't even fly this airplane because I'm in a wheelchair, so...
それでいいんじゃないか?
But I don't think that's a problem.
翼を持たぬ人が空を飛ぼうと言うんだ。現代においてもそれは途方もない話だよ。そんな時一番必要になるのは技術や才能ではなく
There you
情
go.
熱だと思う。
So even though you don't have the skills, you don't have the knowledge, but what matters most is that you are devoted to this project. And that's what makes you special and worthy of being the second in command.
空を飛びたいという思いでみんなを引っ張っていく者が副部長になるべきだ。あまねちゃん。
So is Kotori going to object, or is she going to accept the offer?
それあまねちゃんの役目じゃないの？だって部長はあまねちゃんなんだもん。
But then again, she's the club leader starting number 1, so she can't have 2 roles.
まあまあ、もう決まったことだし。
But anyways, we're going to put your name on the paperwork as second in charge, so... Okay, so first things first, let's take hand in those notices to student council. So let's just go ahead and turn all those paperwork.
雑用を押し付けてるだけでしょ?
But I haven't agreed to it, so why are you turning in the paperwork right away? And so it was decided that we would be camping here and also decide that the second in charge while we were at it.
じゃあ、行ってくる。
Okay, so it looks like there's some time passed in between, and they tried to convince Kotori that she is the perfect person to be second in charge.
行ってくる。
So Kotori and Amane head to the student council to submit the notices.
さてと、私もロボット部に行くかな。
And now with that settled, Ageha can comfortably go back to what she was doing. Wait, Ageha?
ん?
Well, thank you for sticking with us.
いいのいいの。好きでやってることだもん。
Well, don't worry. Well, anyways, how was it?
何が?
So, how was what? You know, the things you were talking about, the love letter.
ああ。
She grins again.
すっごい告白されちゃった。
So, if you remember from the end of episode 30, Ageha got a love letter, and I have a feeling that it was probably Kotori who wrote it. And I think Kotori found it hard to just approach Ageha, so the only way she could communicate with Ageha was in the form of a love letter. But we can see that Ageha's trying to tease. I was like, yeah, so a guy did come and approach me, and he confessed to me, so... And I feel that Iowa can see the lies that Ageha is springing up.
私のこと好きなんだって。いやー、熱い子だよ、あの子は。私、嫌いじゃないんだな、そういうの。
So, do you agree to go out with him? Yeah. Oh, really? Well, I'll be cheering for you. And I wonder if I was going to spy on Ageha if she did end up going out with someone else.
ありがとう。それじゃあ、行ってくるね。
Yeah, good luck. And that's how our summer holidays begin. So now he's alone. It's like, Well, I wonder what kind of person he is. So I don't think we'll be able to find out. But anyways, it looks like... Oh, so this is the last day of the term. That night...
水瀬くん、悪いけどこのバスタオル洗濯しといてもらえないかな。
Okay, so we're back in the dormitory, and it's been quite a while since we've seen this place. Sure, so could you just put it in the wash basket?
ありがとう。私の部屋のエアコン調子悪いんだけど。
I'll call an electrician during the summer holidays to come and take a look.
よろしく。明日は朝ごはんないんだよね。
Well, if you're here, I'll make something.
よろしくお願いします。
So everyone's busy. So it looks like Aoi has a lot of work to do as a dorm mother, and he can't forget about it. Well, of course, they are. All of the boarders are heading home for the summer holidays. And the ones leaving early will be going back tomorrow morning.
暑い、死ぬ。
Well, it is summer and it's really bad to have broken air conditioning. So holding the fan in one hand, Kanako comes out of the dressing room in her underwear. Oh, okay. So I remember this from episode 2 of my Let's Play, and this was how Aoi first saw Kanako, and it freaked him out. And if you remember, he was calling the mother's like, "What's going on? Why am I at this place?" And the mother was just, "Yeah, I signed you there," and such. Whoa. Kanako?
廊下にもエアコンつけようよ。
Well, just because it's hot, you should not be walking around in your underwear.
だって汗でシャツが張り付いて気持ち悪いと思う。
Wait.
暑い。
But you know, it's hot, so... She mutters to herself as she goes into the dining hall. Ah, jeez.
わ
And how is Hat the Duck doing? So this time, he comes walking limply out of Kotori's room. So what's up? Are you worn out from all the heat? After I finished tidying up, I'll spray some water on you, so just hold on for a moment.
あ。
Okay, well, hurry up. So, obviously, Hat's hot because he has feathers. And feathers are usually used as like the filling for blankets and pillows. So that's why Hat can feel hot. So I, the dorm mother, have to get ready to send everyone off. So of course, I'm a little busy. And that's why I left to come home halfway through today's club activities.
わ。
So what's going on? So drained his strength and completely exhausted, Hat sensed something and started raising his head. So what's going on?
ただいま。
Oh, so Kotori's home. Welcome back, Kotori. Well, you're a little late, aren't you?
ギリギリまでやってたからね。疲 疲れた。
Well, I'm tired. I did a lot of work today.
はいはい、ただいまハット。
Hello, Hat. Okay, I'll take care of you. So Kotori, who was exhausted, picked up Hat and put him on her lap.
暑い、喉乾いた。
Okay, I got it. So I pushed the wheelchair and took Kotori into the dining hall.
おかえり小鳥、頑張ってるね。まあほどほどにな。
Yeah, it was tiring. So is Barty okay?
ありがとう。生き返る。
And it helps give energy back to Kotori. So do you want something to eat as well?
食べる。
Okay. So I take the dinner I had prepared and heat it up in the microwave.
海外しいね。
Wow, what a hero. Well, it's all part of being the dorm mother. So pretty much I would understand and can recognize all the habits of these girls, and he can predict, I wouldn't say accurate, but closely what the girls want at certain times of the day. So, and as of today, Kotori and the others had already started camping. So Ageha and Amane. And I couldn't stay till the end because I had dorm mother jobs to do. So I felt bad and made my apologies about this and that. But that ends today. So once he sends these girls home, he'll have plenty of time in his hands. He won't have to worry that much about dorm mother work. That he'll be able to spend more time with Ageha, Amane, and Kotori at the Soaring Club. Well, from tomorrow, it'll be free, or I'll be free from these duties. Well, I have to do the maintenance and administration for the building, though. However, no doubt about it, I'll be able to take part in the camping as I please. Uh-oh. So, I wonder what I would put in the leftovers. So Kotori makes a real racket while eating her sesame, miso, and chili oil noodles. So I think I would put too much chili oil in the noodles.
ハット、離れてなさい。あんたが食べたらきっと死んじゃうわよ。
Hey, don't eat this. It's bad for you. It's already spicy for me, so I don't want you to be harmed by it.
Quack, quack.
Okay, I understand. So Kotori chases away Hat, who is after the vegetables in the noodles. Oh, okay, so it's more like, Hat, this is mine. You can't have anything, so leave me alone.
辛いけど美味しい。辛い。
Okay, so it's the second case. Like, it's mine, it tastes good, so I'm not giving any portion to you, Hat. And it sounds like she's complaining, but she also seems to like it. Well, by the way, you're not going back home, are you? I ask her.
しないわ。
Well, I'm not. So, do you cancel going back so that you could do all the camping thing?
違うわ。もともとするつもりないし。
Well, I wasn't planning on going home in the first place. Really? And somehow I'm not totally convinced and look at Kotori.
食べにくいんだけど。
So I think the problem is like, well, if I do go home, I'm gonna end up with Habane And if you remember, Kotori doesn't really like how Habane dotes on her too much. Even going to like, well, how about we sleep together? And Kotori's like, well, I don't want to smell your breath when you're breathing all over me while we're asleep. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Kotori is disabled. And thinking about it, she would probably spend her summer holidays and so on at home. And it seems strange for her to be living here in this dormitory away from her parents. And I wonder if there's any reason for it. Maybe the parents think that, well, there'll be somebody who will take care of Kotori while she's away. Well, anyways, as I vacantly think to myself about these kinds of things,
私も帰らないよ。
well, I'm not going home either. Wait, what?
なんでそんなに驚くかな。私にいなくなってほしいわけ？
Well, you kind of enjoy me as company here, right? No, it's not that.
うちはこっから近いからね。本当は寮に入らなくても学校通えるし。
So why do you stay here then? So if you say that you live close to the dormitory and maybe the school, what's the point of being here?
追い出されたんだ。
I got kicked out.
うち、両親が再婚したんだけど、あっちに年の近い男の連れ子がいてね。
So I wonder if it's because her stepbrother hates Kanako and he probably abused her to the point where Kanako and the stepbrother can't live together. Well, it somehow seems quite serious. Well, I hope that's not the reason, though. Kotori also subconsciously stops moving her chopsticks.
いつも風呂上がりに下着姿で歩いてたら、お母さんから出てけって言われたの。
Okay, so it looks like the underwear issue has been a problem at home. And obviously it's like, hey, I want you to be dressed up. It's quite inappropriate for you to be like this.
結婚生活をぶち壊す気か、この親不孝者だって。ひどいと思わない？
And the fact that we have other people here, like your stepbrother, your stepfather, it's really bad for a girl to be like this. It kind of ruins my image and everyone else's image. So Kotori muttered, well, what a waste of time. It was talking to your story seriously, as she went back to eating her food. Well, I think that's kind of you, or like kind of your fault for wandering around in your underwear. And besides, after getting kicked out for that, she came here only to do exactly the same thing. It's like, well, you haven't learned. You don't know why you got kicked out, or you do know, but you don't want to fix that problem. And it's going to be a big problem once you graduate and leave here. So, you should have tried to find ways to fix that problem.
ま、ちょいちょい顔出しに帰るけど、基本はこっちに残るから、よろしくね。
Okay. It's like, well, I do check in from time to time, but... So somehow it looks like the boarders won't all be leaving for the summer after all.
Ah, ダメダメ。重視つけすぎだって。
So it looks like it's the next day, and we see that Ageha is once again teaching Kotori how to put together fiber reinforced polymers or composites.
これじゃ薄すぎるんじゃないの？樹脂の割合が多いと強度が弱くなるの。前に教えたでしょ？
Okay, so I think the problem is that well, you're making it too thick, and there's not enough fibers, and that's not gonna make the wings any stronger or such. And I think the reason why it loses strength is because you kind of increase the chances of it having cracks and holes and such.
だからって薄すぎじゃないかしら。
But don't you think it's too thin? And there is this feeling that, well, if it's thick enough, it'll resist cracks and bending and such. So the first few days of camping, the construction of the main wings was proceeding smoothly. Ageha was focusing on the Robotics Club, and when she had time, she would come to the garage to see us. And to quarrel with Kotori. Well, I think it's more like teaching Kotori. Because obviously, well, sometimes when you teach, you have to give harsh words in.
どれどれ、私が見本を見せてやろう。
Oh, so Amane wants to join in.
あ、ちょっとあまねちゃん、何してんの？そうですよ。ここは私らに任せて、あまね先輩はあっちで涼んでてください。
Don't worry, we have it under control. So, just go over there, everything will be fine, it'll be perfect.
私も混ざりたいのに。
Poor Amane's like, well, I wanted to be part of it as well. And just like a grandmother who'd been treated like a nuisance by her daughter and son-in-law, Amane, looking downhearted, went back to where she was before. I'm pretty sure it's the drawing board. Hey, you girls, come on, don't be mean to Amane.
別にいじめてなんてないわよ。ねえ。
Well, I feel like turning her away was kind of being mean.
そうよ。あまねちゃんや葵くんが乗った時、空中でバラバラになっちゃわないように、心を鬼にして言ってるだけなんだから。
Well, we're just kind of uncomfortable with Amane because, well, we know she's bad with her hands, and if she was to work on the wings, she'll use her poor hand skills to make poor quality wings. And if you remember, when Amane built the glider at first, it fell apart, and most of it was because Amane was bad with her hands, and she was building material that was not up to her the desired specs. But even so, it's not going to fall apart in midair.
いいんだいいんだ。どうせ私なんて。
But I'm pretty sure it could if it reaches, or like the aerodynamics are so strong enough that it puts so much force on the wings. Well, see? Come on, you've knocked the confidence out of her.
じゃあこっちへ手伝ってください。出来上がった部品を磨くのを。
Okay then, so we'll have you come over here and help us do this.
いいのか？ええ。それなら後でやり直せるし。
I was like, well, we'll have you polish parts because, well, if you make a mistake or it comes out bad, we can always fix it somehow. And hopefully, Amane isn't making every part bad. Just, anyways.
磨くぞ。
But the act of helping or polishing is enough to make Amane happy. So Amane throws herself into polishing a part that was finished yesterday. It's one of the huge plates. Well, it's built by joining several pieces of FRP, like separately made plates. And it's top part of the left wing and will be bonded to the underside part once it's complete. And before that, we have to polish it until it's shiny, but it takes a very long time. And that's because it has such a large surface area.
綺麗にできてるな。すごいな。アゲハも小鳥も。
So I think when Ageha polishes the wings, like, well, at least it'll take so much time that Amane is only gonna polish a part of the wing, and if that part is pretty bad, we can make it up by making the rest of the wing look all good. So she admires as she polishes.
これはいい機体になりそうだ。
So listening to Amane talking to herself. And they both smile awkwardly. And for some reason, they're happiest when being praised by Amane. So you girls seem to be having fun. I go to help as well, but I don't get the same feeling of actually making it as they do.
何言ってんの。この翼が完成したらあんたが飛ぶんだからね。そうよ、あなたはパイロットなのよ。
Well, we're trying to make this as perfect as possible because we know that you'll be flying the machine once it's all done, so want to make sure that it does not have a good chance that it'll fall apart like it did before. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, those wings that everyone are working so hard to build are what I will use to fly. So, riding on everyone's hopes. And as if words aren't enough, seeing everyone actually working on it like this really starts to feel like that. Well, I never thought about it when I was riding a bicycle. So bikes are also made by someone piece by piece and something they put their heart and soul into. Well, I'm not sure if that's true or not, because I do see machines building bicycles and they have all these special machines where they can just take the part and shape it to any way they want. And then you have another department that paints. You have one that coats it with protection paint. And there is some handwork done when you buy a bicycle, especially for a big box company, because when it comes, it's just the frame, the real wheels, and the gears. And at that time, I was simply obsessed with riding, and I guess I was still immature. But then again, as the user, you don't really care about how it's made. It's more like how well it rides, how well it stays together when I'm doing extreme sports or acrobatics.
さあ、作業再開。
Well, back to work.
今日中にこれ仕上げたいもんね。
I'm sure they still have quite a bit of ways to go before it's ready for flight. After being praised by Amane, they looked like they were even more fired up. Okay, so it's afternoon. About the same time, Ageha, who had been to the Robotics Club for a while, came back and said, "Alright, here we go." In other words, it's time to show what our camping here is all about.
邪魔するぞ。
I'm coming in. Wait, so Anchan's here, or Tatsuya.
よ、葵。
Hello, Aoi. They're carrying a big watermelon in his arm. As he came into the garage was Anchan.
お邪魔します。
And it looks like Hotaru's here as well. So behind him is Hotaru.
あんちゃん、どうしたの？
So, what's going on?
差し入れだ。お前んとこのおばさんがくれたんだけど、うちじゃ食い切れそうにないから持ってきた。
So it's like, well, the Himegis gave me this watermelon, but it was too much for us, so I decided to give it to you people. Anchan says, right as I ask Hotaru to confirm his story. Or like, as if. Like, well, see? So, Hotaru, am I talking the truth? Do you agree? So, Hotaru must have been the one who brought it in that, or brought that big watermelon to Anchan's house. And let's see, passing the watermelon to me, Anchan looks around inside the garage.
あんま変わってないな。ごちゃごちゃと汚いまんまだ。
So, Anchan, have you been here before? And I kind of wonder as well.
ああ、昔な。
Ooh, so a long time ago. Anchan graduated from this school. And that's exactly why it's not really that strange. But this garage is a deserted place, or is in a deserted place far from the school building. So Anchan walks further inside. And inside was Amane, muttering and looking at the drawing board. And I wonder if there's still problems with the drawing, and I wonder how long it's been since Amane's at the drawing board. She was so deep in concentration, she didn't notice at all what is going on.
効力を抑えるにはやはりここの局面を
So it looks like she's still trying to find ways to improve on the design.
相変わらずだな、あまね。
Wait a minute, who's that person? So, realizing that Anchan was looking at her, Amane raises her head. So, her expression looked like she was completely taken aback.
達也
よ。
Hello.
達也じゃないか
So it must be you, Tatsuya.
久しぶりだな。
So as Anchan spoke to her, Amane got out of her chair and walked round and round him. Then she pats him on the shoulder.
本当だ達也だ久しぶりだな何どういうことさあ
I don't know. Well, I want to know too. And it seems these two are old acquaintances. So Hotaru starts cutting the watermelon with one of the utility knives used in our work. And I hope it's clean. I hope it's not the knife that has cut through many things that are not edible or are toxic, like oils and grease and...
懐かしいなけどどうしたんだ急に
So all of a sudden...
前に葵からグライダーの部品がいるって頼まれてな。
Oh, okay. So that was like maybe episode 10 or 15. I forgot the number. So Mane was trying to find someone to help her fix or build the instruments. They're broken, and the original manufacturer is out of business. And Aoi took the parts and gave it to Tatsuya.
それでもしかしてって思ったんだ。
And Tatsuya can sense that, well, it wasn't Aoi who requested it to be fixed. It was probably Amane.
はい質問
So a question. So Kotori puts her hand straight up.
どうぞお嬢さん。
So what is it?
二人は知り合いなんですか
So Ageha and I wanted to ask too, but somehow found it hard to. Whereas Kotori just went straight in and did it anyways.
ああ
Nice.
俺はここの卒業生で、あまねとは同期だったんだ。
So when I was in school, Amane was in school as well. So Ageha and I count Anchan's age and on our fingers.
本当だ同い年だ
So I wonder how long Amane has been at this school, given that she was a student from around Tatsuya's time to current times with Ageha, Kotori, and Aoi. So Anchan, who had started working, and Amane, who was still a student. However, there was no mistaking that these two are around the same age.
卒業してから会ってなかったけど、まだ続けてたんだな。
So Anchan smiles as he speaks.
まだ目指してるのか？
Yeah?
この目であの雲の回廊を見るまではやめられないからな。
そうか。そうだったな。
Well, somehow, it feels like we can't not join in with this conversation. I think it's like, well, they're talking about subjects that... So it's like, these subjects are things where it's irrelevant for the other people to listen to. And then...
スイカ切れたよ。
Here you go, watermelons. So Taru puts the watermelon on a dish, well, the one that Kotori made with FRP and brought it over. And I hope the dish is clean and doesn't have any scraps or shavings or all the leftover junk.
ちょっと不格好になっちゃったけど。
So because she tried to cut it with a utility knife, let's see, the shapes of the singles are a little strange. Like the shape of the slices are a little strange, and it still tastes the same though. So everyone picks up a slice and takes a big bite.
冷えてないけど甘い。本当だ、甘い。
And it's good to have watermelon, especially when it's hot outside, because it kind of keeps you refreshed and all cool.
先輩もどうぞ。ありがとう。
So Amane takes a slice of watermelon offered to her by Hotaru.
スイカか。久しぶりに食べるな。何年ぶりだろう。
So I wonder how long ago this has been. And she says that she seems a little lost to how to eat it, and just looking around at everyone else, she copies the way we do it and takes a big bite. I did eat it in the same way, leaving bites and not worrying about manners. When it's summer, you've just gotta have watermelon. There you go. And if I remember from Kernel Blossom, Shina presented the watermelon to Keiji and Kumiko, but she didn't know how to open it, and it ended up that she dropped the watermelon on Keiji's head, and that's how it opened. And it's because the little accident where the wind blew and Keiji can see Shina's underwear.
達也は今どうしてるんだ？
So what are you doing these days?
実家の工場で働いてるよ。
ああ、例のこの間雑誌で取り上げられてるのを読んだぞ。
Oh, the factory. I did hear it being in the news somehow.
あーちゃん雑誌に載ったの？
Really? Magazine? So...
俺じゃないよ。うちの工場が載ったんだ。
No. Me as a person, I wasn't in the news or the magazines. It's just my company. So what kind of article was it?
日本の町工場が NASA からロケットの部品を受注しているっていう記事だった。
Oh, even better. So like, well, he was working on some part and it's now being used in spaceships. And to have such an honor from a big and successful government agency like NASA, that's a big plus.
町工場でロケット作ってるの？
機械じゃうまく作れない部品があるんだ。そういうのをうちの職人さんたちが作ってる。
I'm not sure if that's still true today, because this was made around 2011, but we've seen that computers have gotten more complicated and they can do more complicated tasks, like stamping holes in the right place, actually going around, up and down into the tool to do work. but maybe there's still some places where it's better to have humans do it. So do you mean make them too, Anshan?
記事に載った仕事は俺も手伝ったよ。
確か打ち上げは成功して、もうすでに宇宙を飛んでるんだったな。
So this spaceship was successful, and it's in space carrying the parts that Tatsuya and his factory made. Oh, that's quite an honor.
あんちゃんが作った部品が宇宙を飛んでるんだ。
So that's just incredible. It really feels mysterious.
あんちゃんの話聞いてたらうずいてきちゃった。
And it's getting Ageha all fired up.
浜根さん、続きやるよ。
Okay, let's do this. So Kotori, who was still halfway through her watermelon, ate the rest of it in one go, and then went after Ageha.
早くこの子を飛ばそう。
いい雰囲気じゃないか。
Well, there's a good mood about this place, you know?
ああ、まるであの頃に戻ったみたいだろ。
So just like the old times?
そうだな。
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so it's getting late at night, and they're still working on the glider. And I'm just gonna go and stop here. So it's kind of interesting that Amane's been in school for that long. To the point where even Tatsuya remembers Amane as a student. So, as I mentioned about parts being handmade versus machine-made, machines do have their advantages, but there are some places where it's better to have handwork. Like maybe the springs, maybe tightening really small parts, and even testing to make sure that it can be easy to disassemble and everything fits perfectly. Because if it was, like if machines were capable to make anything, then how come pianos still require a considerable amount of handwork? But anyways, at least we see that progress or activities in the Soaring Club have picked up once more, thanks to Ageha being able to find some time to help them out. And I'm pretty sure Ageha is still busy with the Robotics Club with the competition. And I hope she doesn't push herself so much that she starts to wear out, because there's a good chance that it may happen with demands coming from multiple angles. But anyways, we'll see how all this comes out as we go down the episodes. And with that in mind, I will see you later.